Hi, I'm Venus O'Hara. I make content about holistic self-love and I'm doing Vlogmas. That means I'm uploading every single day until Christmas. Today's video is about the types of people I avoid. And I was inspired to make this video because I saw another creator that I watch made a similar video, but their one was about people you should avoid. But I'm just talking for myself here. But I would love to know what you think about this list. I think it's very important to consider the people you are hanging around with. Someone said that you are the result of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. And sometimes when I'm trying to send something to someone, let's say if I want to send a picture to one of my contacts in WhatsApp, when I click on the WhatsApp icon, I immediately see the 3 people that I'm in most contact with. And it's kind of interesting to see like who are my top 3 people. That obviously can change depending on who I'm in contact with at any given time. But it's a good indication to see who you are most in contact with, to see if you think they are a good influence or not. Yeah, because I think someone I interviewed on my podcast said, if you hang around with 5 millionaires, you'll be the 6th. If you hang around with 5 drug addicts, you'll be the 6th, that kind of thing. So it's really important to think about our environment and how these people in our lives are influencing us. So the first person type of people that I tend to avoid are people who have issues with any type of substance. It could be just alcohol or even illegal substances. I'm just not into that energy of feeling the need to take something, escape reality and all of that. And it used to be me, I grew up in the UK where, alcohol is very big. And I didn't really realize until I lived in Paris. I thought everyone got wasted every single weekend. That was just part of life in the UK and having amnesia. And then as the week went by, you're getting these flashbacks. Oh yeah, that happened on Saturday. Or waking up and not realizing how you got home. That sounds so bad when I say that now, but it wasn't such a shocking thing when I was at university. And also we used to be in parties and then people had passed out on the floor, you step over them. I mean, it's just so crazy to think about how people would take such big risks. And now with experience, age and hindsight, which is a wonderful thing, I tend to avoid people who have that same need to escape from reality and to alter their perceptions in ways that can be very dangerous. And so that's something that it's been quite hard actually, because most of our culture, our society does, alcohol is very present in lots of social scenarios. As I've mentioned many times, I don't drink alcohol, but it's gone to a point where I reject alcohol. I'm trying to, I just don't feel comfortable around those environments where people are drunk, people are slurring their speech, or even taking other things as well. So I tend to stay away from that type of person. And I've had people very close to me in my life who have had addictions, and I've realized that, oh my God, this person could die at any point, and I've really kind of had to step back and not try to have some kind of intervention, but really to remove myself from their lives or remove them from my life as well, because I just didn't feel that, I didn't feel comfortable around those environments. I remember I went to a friend's house once years and years ago, and I was holding my glass of water, just afraid that something might end up in my drink. That's not a really nice situation to be in, or a nice feeling to have, and not feeling safe. And around people who are quite reckless, that's not something that I like. And another thing, what did I say here? Oh yeah, I've written like religious zealots, like people who are very, I don't feel comfortable around people who are very religious in the way that they, I don't mind if people are religious, but if they try and kind of convert me, that makes me very uncomfortable. And also people who judge me for what I do. I've had a lot of comments on this channel saying, oh, Jesus will save you, can pray for you. And that's not something that I want. I do believe in God, I'm very spiritual. But this kind of intention of trying to convert other people to your way of thinking is not something that I like. And I remember I was in an event with someone who thought that my job was sinful, and I just felt very judged when I think God said, "Thou shalt not judge." I don't know if that's one of the something from the Bible. I'm not sure, but I just think judging others is not a good thing to do. And in this recap of the list I'm sharing here, this is not about judgment or thinking that I'm better. It's just simply about choices and compatibility and alignment. I don't think anyone is better. I think we're all on different parts of our journey. And there were times in my life when I was getting really drunk, just like everyone else as well. And also, I just want to be a nun. So I've had my moments of being very religious as well, but it's not where I'm at right now. Another thing that I have removed from my life this year is the presence of people who gossip. Gossip is sometimes it can create bonds. There is a kind of a high when you are telling something that you shouldn't be sharing. It's kind of a bit forbidden fruit. But I realized that when I was the victim of some gossip, or some of my private information was shared with the wrong people, I felt very, very vulnerable. And I realized that my privacy is very, very important. And when I'm noticing what people around me are talking about, are they repeating things that have been told to them in confidence? If people do that, you know they're doing the same with you as well. So I've really dialed back on who I'm sharing my very private information with, and just noticing how others speak about other people as well. If it's a negative thing, if it's a negative way, that's kind of like a red flag for me, or I'd kind of dial back, or how would I say, downgrade my relationship with that person. But gossip was something that I was very sensitive about a year ago when something I wanted to keep private became kind of public. And that meant that I had to really redesign my friendship circles, etc. So gossip is definitely something that I have been removing. So I think you can have conversations with people that can be deep and authentic and all that without bringing gossip into the equation. I think gossip is just, I think there's an expression, small minds speak about people, mediocre minds speak about events, and great minds talk about ideas. So I'm trying to stay on the higher echelons there, if possible. Another thing I try to avoid is people who complain all the time. This might feel like a complaining video, but I think it's important to be grateful in life and to be optimistic. Not even in times of struggle, there's always something to learn. But relentless, just continuous complaining is something that can really bring you down. And it's okay to have a little bit of a rant here and there, but when the conversation is like, let's say, 80% complaining about current circumstances and not doing anything about it, then I do find that to be very negative. It brings me down, and I've had to remove myself from some of those circles as well. One of my good friends says complaining coffees, when people want to meet you for a coffee, it's like complain, 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 complain. And that's something that I'm quite wary of. And then something that I really can't stand is people who have no girl code. I think I made another video about this in the past. When the kind of people who go after other people's partners, that's something that makes me feel very, very uncomfortable. And I had a friend like that who did that to me, unfortunately, and someone I trusted. And someone who has no girl code or flirting with other people's partners. And there is someone who makes a lot of comments on this channel who says that women prefer, I don't know how he came up with this, but women prefer men who are, already in relationships because they're the best men, apparently. Someone said that they were like parking spaces, the best ones already taken, and they pursue those guys. And I just don't think that's true at all, not in terms of my experience or circles, but there are a few here and there who just don't have any girl code or just pursue people who are unavailable, and that makes me feel very uncomfortable, because it's not really a life choice that I would support, and you don't know where someone's boundaries are. Because I think at the end of the day, it's important to be around people who have similar values to you, not always exactly the same, but pretty much similar anyway. And then I don't spend a lot of close time with people who have no purpose, but I think I say that with a very big pinch of salt, because I think it's important to embrace all kinds of people in life, because not everyone has a big purpose to change the world. I do definitely connect and tolerate and accept and have great times with people who have a more simple approach to life, and those people can be very inspiring. I think everyone can teach us something. I go to dance salsa on Sundays in the park, and I've had a few friends who said, "Oh, this is not like VIP enough," or it's not. How would I say? Yeah, they've kind of looked down on it a little bit, or I had a friend who used to come to some of my events, and she used to say didn't like the quality of people, and these types of comments which are very condescending, patronizing, and with a superiority complex. That's something I can't stand. Is this perceived hierarchy of people, of having better value if you have a certain job, dress a certain way, speak a certain way. That's something I really can't stand. I think everyone can teach you something. Even the most simple person can teach you something. I've met some very simple people who are just content with the bare minimum, and that can really teach us a lot. And those people are probably a lot happier than those of us who have like dreams of changing the world. So yeah, that's something I really can't stand, is superiority. I think it's important to embrace all kinds of people and be humble as well, and never lose that sense of, yeah, groundedness. So those are the kind of people I tend to avoid, but the kind of people I don't feel comfortable around. But in the day, I realize that these triggers are probably within me, and there's some reason there that it maybe is from my past or something. But yeah, so what about you? What kinds of people do you avoid? I think for me, it's about, I want to be around people who make me feel good, and those types of people don't make me feel good. So for that reason, I tend to avoid them, but there's no judgment or superiority in this list. Yes, that's today's video. If you have any thoughts or any reflections you'd like to share, I would love to find out in the comment section below. And if you have any suggestions or requests for new videos, don't hesitate to leave a comment below, and I will be reading and responding, and hopefully I'll be inspired to answer you. So that's today's video. I'll be back tomorrow for some more Vlogmas. Thanks for watching. Mwah.